Hello everyone, and welcome to the introduction video for a new series I will be starting for the game The Journeyman Project 1 Pegasus Prime. This game will have a config and tech video following the introduction video. There will not be a modding video as there are no mods. Forgive me if I slip up when saying Pegasus Prime. It makes me think of Fear 1's expansion called Perseus Mandate. I hope you enjoy the information and that it gives you the best Journeyman Project 1 Pegasus Prime experience you can have. Any links that are covered will be in the description of the video. This game was developed by Presto Studios. Presto Studios was an American developer that was founded in San Diego, California in 1992. They have since closed their doors and shut down as of 2002. They are best known for game series such as The Journeyman Project, and they also developed Myst 3. A little personal story here. Back when I played these games in the 90s, I was interested in the idea of doing 3D modeling for video games. I realized sometime later that I am not good at art or drawing and would probably not do well as a 3D artist for gaming. Even still, I reached out to Jose Albanil, the lead 3D modeler of Presto Studios. I wrote him a fan letter just asking some questions and complimenting him on his work. I believe we communicated a couple of times. Jose was such a super nice person to me at that time. He sent me a free copy of The Journeyman Project 3 Legacy of Time on PC, as well as a Journeyman Project TSA patch. My actual patch is not accessible, so here is a picture of a sticker for reference. He didn't have to do any of that, but he did, and I've always appreciated that. I remember that he was really into the Tasmanian Devil, or Taz, from the Looney Tunes. I managed to find him on Facebook, and yep, he still loves Taz. If you happen to see this video, Jose, thanks for taking the time out of your schedule back then to converse with me. Some game information here. Journeyman Project 1 Pegasus Prime is a remake of the original Journeyman Project 1 from 1993. I am playing the remake instead of the original for performance reasons and graphical continuity between the sequels. Also, as I always like to say, I think it will present better. I first played the original game back in middle school. It was installed on a computer in my shop class, I am guessing by the teacher, but it could have been by a student. But I do remember the teacher messing with it, so he was aware that it was installed. I was captivated by the game for sure. So there is some nostalgia for the original version. I have completed the original version and the Pegasus Prime version, but that was a long time ago at this point. Further into this video, I will go over the games in the Journeyman Project series in more detail. Difficulty modes. The game has two difficulty modes, Adventure and Walkthrough. I plan to use Adventure mode in my gameplay, but I may mess around with Walkthrough or something. But probably not. The Adventure mode is considered normal mode. You can equip an AI biochip to give you hints. Walkthrough mode is considered an easy mode. You are given full hints all the time without needing to equip the AI biochip. You are also given a solve button that will instantly complete puzzles, kind of like you get in a hidden object game. If you don't want to do a puzzle, you can just skip it. It should be noted that you can change your game difficulty at any time when playing. So technically, you could just turn on walkthrough mode if you were stuck and needed to solve a puzzle. This would also be quicker than equipping your biochip while in adventure mode to accomplish the same thing. Once you've solved your puzzle, then switch the difficulty back to adventure mode. I want to give you a little information here about an actor in the game. His name is Graham Jarvis. You may recognize the actor Graham Jarvis, who plays Dr. Elliot Sinclair in the game. The main villain, I guess you could call him. He has been in a lot of various films and television shows, such as All in the Family, Cagney and Lacey, Home Improvement, MASH, Married with Children, Mork and Mindy, Murder, She Wrote, 6 Feet Under, Star Trek The Next Generation, Starsky and Hutch, and The X-Files. He was even the narrator in the first American production of The Rocky Horror Show at the Roxy Theater in Los Angeles, playing alongside Meatloaf and Tim Curry. I just wanted to draw some attention to Graham Jarvis because he is likely someone you have seen in movies and didn't know who he was. Little information about manual and a walkthrough. A link to a manual in a .pdf form will be provided in the Config and Tech video and the Gameplay Part 1 video description. A link to a walkthrough guide will be provided in the first Gameplay Part 1 video description. I will be referencing this guide myself if I get stuck or something. The genre that Journeyman Project falls into is sci-fi point-and-click adventure. You could also say time travel, but that falls under the sci-fi heading. So a sci-fi time travel point-and-click adventure. How long to beat this game? According to howlongtobeat.com, it should take roughly 5.5 hours to 6 hours to complete. I should fall somewhere on the high range there just because I'll be, kind of taking my time in the game and looking at everything. Now let's go over the game releases by year. So the first game was Journeyman Project 1, version 1.0. This came out on the Macintosh computers in 1993. And then you have the Journeyman Project 1, version 1.1 on the Mac. Came out in 1993. And then Journeyman Project 1, version 1.2 came out on the Mac in 1993. So they released 3 initial versions in 1993. Then we have Journeyman Project 1 MPC version 1.0 came out on the PC in 1993. So the first PC version of the game. So they were pretty busy in 1993. Then we have Journeyman Project 1 Turbo. This came out on Mac and PC in 1994. Then we have Journeyman Project 2 Buried in Time. Came out on the Mac and PC in 1995. Then we have Journeyman Project 1 Pegasus Prime. This came out on the Mac and PC. It came out on the Mac in 1997, and then it didn't come out on the PC until 2014. So this 2014 PC edition of Pegasus Prime is the version we will be playing. Then we have Journeyman Project 3 Legacy of Time. This came out on the Mac and PC in 1998. And then we have Journeyman Project 4 Resurrection. for Mac and PC. This game was canceled, and it was projected for a year 2000 release. Now I'll go over a little bit more detail on some of these releases here with you. So the first 4 releases in 1993 consisted of bug fixes and increasing performance. Journeyman Project 1 Turbo that came out in 1994. This increased the overall speed the game ran at. As far as like frame rate, I don't know what it was originally, nor do I know what it was in the turbo version, but it basically increased the frame rate of the game, as the original was quite slow to move and animate. This would be the version you would want if looking for the original game, the turbo version. This is comparable to a game like Street Fighter II Turbo or Hyper Fighting that came out. Not because it's similar to a competitive fighter, but it's similar in the sense of the way Street Fighter II Turbo sped the game up. As already mentioned, Pegasus Prime is a remake of the original game. The remake is more in line with Journeyman Project 2 and 3 that came later. As far as graphic fidelity and gameplay and performance. Journeyman Project 4 Resurrection was sadly canceled. I just learned about it while gathering my information for this video. The game design documents had mostly been written. At the time, Presto Studios was focused and working on Myst 3. By the time Myst 3 was completed, and Presto Studios was going to maybe get back to Journeyman Project 4, the company closed down, so it never got completed and never got released. In the next video, we will be getting into the configuration and technical side of things. I will record the desktop of my PC, folder view on the left, and my notes on the right of what we will go over. Thanks for watching and listening. See you in the next video. Bye.